Hello, dear Geminis out there. Welcome to this reading. This is again a yearly horoscope, but just for you Geminis in particular. Watched, of course, the other video I already made about the yearly horoscopes, which is full of information, but this is a bit shorter video, I hope. Actually, it's a bit longer, of course. It's specifically for you, but I wanted to be a little bit more detailed in the degree of your sign. So when someone has like Gemini at 0 degree, what does it mean? And Gemini at 20 degree, what does it mean? So I'm going to look at the outer planets here. I'm not going to look at your ruler getting retrograde and whatnot and the nodes and whatnot. No, I'm going to look specifically at the outer planets from Jupiter to Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And what they're doing in a specific part of your life, but specifically, are you going to feel it more or not, depending on the degree that you have of your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant sign. Now, when things are hitting your sun sign, sun and Gemini, very in general, of course, but this is going to be something that hits your career, that has to do with your identity. The moon refers more to your home life, your emotions, relationships or important relationships. And the ascendant relates to everything. That's in a nutshell. It relates to everything on your path. Let's have a look and start with Pluto. Pluto is going to jump into Aquarius. As from January, yes, it tiptoes and whatnot, but that's for the other video that I explained in Capricorn. But it's going to be in Aquarius. What is this going to do for the Geminis in general? It's going to be good for the Geminis in general, but in particularly the Geminis who's got planets between 0 and 3 degrees of Gemini. Wow, you're going to have Pluto trining your sign. One of my favorite transits. Why? Because Pluto is a harsh planet. It's not easy. It means transformation, and that's for no one. That means some sort of a crisis, right? Something ends and something is giving space there so that you can start up all over. But with the trine, it means that it's not unsettling, that it's more of a natural process. So how good is that for you? And Pluto is in your 9th house. So that is about travel, teachings, learnings, international affairs, your connection with God, your connect or with the divine or with the nature, with universe, if you like. It's your mindset. So what is happening here for a lot of Geminis, but in particular those that I just mentioned? So that would be if you were born, for instance, around the 21st of May, 22nd of May, 23rd of May. They are going to, the early born Geminis are going to feel it the most. It's like they can transform their world through their mind. So it's like Mr. Magic or Mrs. Magic. It's like in the tarot, the magician. You've got all your tools and they're all out there and you make use of them. So if you have a goal, dear Gemini, in 2024, put on the good mindset. Even if you're not a Gemini that have 0 to 3 degrees, you can already start up with this mentality because you're going to get it somewhere, right, in the next couple of years. I mean, that Pluto support. Pluto has to do with transformation. It has to do with the process of things that are not working in your life. You get rid of it and you start with something that is more authentic, more real, and more true to you. So a huge mind shift. You are rewriting those wires that might have been there like for the last 40 years, and you're doing it. And how difficult is that? You know, so a lot of you Geminis, the focus here in a very positive way in 2024 is a rewiring of your mindset of life. You know, a mindset is everything. If you have a mindset that all men are cheaters, for instance, then you're going to attract all men that are cheaters. You see what I mean? It's that shift of mindset together with your heart, together with feeling what's going on. Neptune is in your 10th house. Now, for some of you, Neptune is going to be important. Very important. Some of you already had the Neptune transit. So let's have a look at who that is, because Neptune is transiting Pisces between 25 and 29 degrees of Pisces. So if you have planets at 25 to 29 degrees of Gemini, you're going to feel this very strongly. And when it comes to your sun sign, these are the ones who were like the 16th of June and onwards, right? The 16th of June and onwards, you're going to feel this Neptunian vibe in a square. So that means tension. That means watch out. Probably going to get the good stuff from Neptune, but through a bit of stress, you could say. And what is Neptune here all about? It's in the highest point of your horoscope. So it's about work, it's about career. But if you're not working, it's simply also your social status, right? I'm being married, or I'm single with 2 kids, or I'm divorced, or whatever. So Neptune there in that 10th house, squaring up to your energy shows, and in particular, I'm talking now about those people who've got the last degrees of Gemini. They might just not know where they're heading when it comes to the career. They might be a little bit afraid now of what's going on here. Do I have to go this way or that way? I don't know what I want to do in my career. And I'm 55, for instance. That can happen with Neptune there. Is it a good thing? Yes. It's not because it's hard that it's not good. It is supposed to be like that. And what is the whole thing here is to make your job, your career, or how you present yourself in the world more Neptunian in a good way. Neptunian in a good way is non-material. It is more about what can I present to the collective? How can I help the collective? It doesn't matter in what way. How can I be more spiritual and interested in the not so tangible stuff of life? Can also be the arts and creativity. You can become more creative when you have Neptune squaring up to, in the 10th house, your sun sign or your ascendant or your moon sign. So definitely when it comes to the career and you're feeling like, oh, what's going on? It's not a bad thing. It's to show you different parallel universes, so to speak, so that you trust that whatever the universe is presenting you, that you trust it's the right thing. And you decide, of course, if you're going to go for it or not, but that you trust that whatever is presented to you, it's worth examining, right? It's like a trial and error. It's this for relationships, it's a bit more tricky, especially for your moon. If you have your moon at 24 or 25 degrees up until 29 degrees of Gemini, it's tricky. It means that in relationship, you're not seeing clear. So stand with your feet on the ground. If you're dating, for instance, a new man and you think he's everything, yes, it's Neptunian. You have to think twice. You have to ask a good friend that you trust, what do you think about them? If they are saying, but look, he's got 3 kids or 4 kids and he's drinking all the time and he's still married. Yes, but he is saying that he will divorce and he loves me and blah, blah, blah. Those are red flags. I'm exaggerating here, I know. That's not you, but I'm exaggerating. You see, and if it's you, well, see it as a wake-up call. So be very careful because you're a bit more prone to, you could say la la land, you could say magic. If you don't have magic in your relationship now, explore and exude the magic yourself in your work. Don't wait to someone giving you that magical feeling. Then you're going to get hooked and then you're going to get codependent. You don't want that. No one's going to get happy then. So yes, Neptune for some people, but of course most Geminis already have had this Neptunian vibe. Then Jupiter and Uranus in your 12th house. Now this specifically between the first month up until like May time. Because then it's going to be in Taurus, Jupiter, and then it shifts into your sign. So Jupiter and Uranus in your 12th house, that is really some sort of you could say a gift, that you can't touch, but you know it's there, right? The 12th house is the house that you can feel protected by other universes or people in other universes that are having your best interest. That's Jupiter Uranus in your 12th house for sure. It's also about if you want to relax, if you want, it can be a little bit easier with Jupiter Uranus there. And all of a sudden that you say, yeah, I'm going to make a long trip now for 2 weeks, and you have the access to that. It's also good to have insights all of a sudden in your old patterns, or that you understand yourself on that unconscious level. That gives you power for sure. But of course, when Jupiter enters your first house in Gemini, that's expansion time. So is it an expansive way? Time for Geminis? Yes, for some of them, because we've got Saturn there as well. So we have to take into account different things here. But let's start with this Jupiter. Expansion, growth, travel, learning, teaching, you name it, seeing the bigger picture. It's wonderful. It happens every 12 years that you've got Jupiter in your sign. And who's going to benefit from that the most? Well, almost all Geminis, right? It transits Gemini between 0 and 21 degrees of Gemini. So it's like the 2/3 of the Geminis are going to feel this strongly, and the other ones are for 2025. But this is expansion for sure. This is you traveling more if you can, or learning more, seeing the bigger picture, understanding the bigger picture. That is amazing. And your first house is about your life path. It's good for relationships. It's good for attracting more people because they see you were abundant. So you're going to attract the same to you. It's great. It's great to meet a new person as well. And then we have Saturn, of course, which is a bit of a, you could say, the opposite energy. It's contracting, it's slowing down. It's not to harm you, but it has a purpose. But it's doing this in your 10th house of career. If you don't have a career, it's how you present yourself to the world. So Saturn there, and in particular, it's going to be between 3 to 19 degrees of Pisces. So the Geminis, who've got planets between 3 and 19 degrees of Gemini, they're going to feel that, yes, they want to expand, but at the same time, their job might be of big responsibility so that they can't expand fully. It can happen, you know. For a lot of you, this is going to be those two energies at the same time, which you could say, oh, it's a pity, right? No, it has to be like that, right? That is astrology. It's a reflection of us. It's not like something that is doing something against you or whatever. No, it is what it is. So it's going to be an energy of you wanting to expand, especially if you have, for instance, Gemini at 14 degrees. So you're going to feel that Jupiter energy, but you're also going to feel the restriction there and the responsibilities of, in your case, work. So, but it doesn't mean to say that if you have to do your responsibilities that you can't grow, but you will have to kind of time share these two. Right? So actually, you could say for most of you Geminis, it's a year of expanding, and it's a year of contracting and slowing down, but kind of making it more solid, making it more real. Saturn in your 10th house, it's about responsibility. It's not running away from that. So you could have more responsibilities at your work. And yes, you are expanding or traveling or expanding your business, but with more responsibilities, more powers, more responsibilities. So it's something like that that can occur for many of you Geminis. But of course, the ones who have that Pluto there, Pluto is overruling everything, right? Because it's the furthest planet away, and it's the most difficult planet to handle. With the most consciousness, you can do it right. Absolutely. So all in all, a very interesting year for the Geminis, with lots of expansion, lots of seriousness and responsibilities as well, opportunities for relationships. Yes, for some of you with the Neptune there, that you still have to be a little bit cautious, but all in all, quite a bit of everything. And that's what Geminis do like, don't they? Make the best out of it, dear Geminis, and thank you for watching.